Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. With me, I have two musical goddesses that are here from Symphony Tacoma, and they are very familiar faces in the community because they give so much to our city of Tacoma. Please join me in welcoming Maestro Sarah Ioannidis. You are also the music director of Symphony Tacoma. Welcome back, my dear. It's so great to have you here. I saw you in Starbucks a couple days ago, and no, you were not conducting and you were not playing an instrument, but you were conducting business on a laptop, fast and furious. I'm like, look at her fingers go. You were good. With you is this beautiful person next to you, Karina Barn. Hello, my dear.
Hi, Amanda.
You are the executive director of Tacoma Symphony, and you have a phenomenal Instagram page. I live for pictures of you and your life traveling, your pets, what you're having for breakfast. They're really fun. So thank you for inviting me into your life.
Thank you.
No, thank you. So when I got my script for the week, I did a little sleuthing and I did some YouTube videos of the upcoming concert. And this artist, George Lee, plays enchanting Rachmaninoff. Tell us about this, Sarah.
Yeah, well, George is unbelievable.
Thank you.
I mean, I heard him when he was 12 years old. We played together in Caracas in Venezuela. And right then and there, he was just like a gift. I mean, so musical. I mean, everybody was weeping, and then he would get onto the encores, and it was just standing ovations after ovations. He's a megastar, and he's kind of followed in the Lang Lang path, and now he's in his young 20s, and he's doing even more difficult, incredible repertoire, winning competitions, playing all over the world, playing with Gergiev and major orchestras. And so I'm just thrilled that we are getting to hear him now as he peaks in his career. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to peak. But right now, as a young man who is so strong and so touching as a musician, here we are doing Rachmaninoff 3, one of the greatest piano concertos.
Yes.
And we're doing it with one of the greatest symphonies, Brahms' Symphony No. 3. So it's going to be a really, really special.
Talk about fast hands. I mean, look at this. I mean, and George is playing with his whole body. I mean, there is just, this man is absorbed into the piano. I'm just like, oh my God, you rarely get to see this. I mean, you get to see it maybe on TV, on PBS in concert, but this kind of legacy shows up. Oh, how old is George, by the way?
He's early 20s, maybe 20.
Yeah, and he's going to peak pretty soon? Holy cow. Okay, so you mentioned that you met George when he was 12. Mm-hmm. Have you worked with him before, since then?
Yes. After that first invitation, we worked together on Mendelssohn. I brought him back to my orchestras in Spartanburg, and I invited him to Scandinavia. And so we have worked together a couple of times since then. And I just can't wait to see him again. He's so busy that we've been trying to bring him for 5 years.
I love that.
And so we
and
finally
you've
got
succeeded.
it.
Persistence pays off. This concert also introduces something new for the symphony, your Composer in Residence program. Tell us about the composer.
Yes, that is David Ludwig. He is an incredible musician and composer. He's the nephew of Peter Serkin, who was one of the great pianists, concerto pianists and teachers. Wow. And the grandson of the great Rudolf Serkin, who is a great lineage of phenomenal musicians, of which they were the directors of the Curtis Institute of Music. Mm-hmm. And now David has a long-standing relationship with Curtis. George Lee was at Curtis Institute of Music, and I was there also, not at the same time, but at the same time as David. So it's kind of one big family.
It is.
And it's like bringing really dear friends. And this Composer in Residence program is an opportunity to welcome composers in the area to come and submit compositions, to work with David, and then to have a final performance together with him advising and with symphony musicians and community musicians in June next year.
And you brought that beautiful gift to Tacoma.
Well, we're very fortunate to have some wonderful sponsors that are helping make this happen. David is very busy, and
yes,
we're enjoying the fact that we've got 3 pieces of music by David. He's a wonderfully touching composer also. The first piece on this program is called Fanfare for Sam, after Samuel Barber. And if you come along, you hear the orchestra tuning, and all of a sudden, out of that, it starts to become the piece of music that he's written.
Oh, I love that.
So for some people that are not watching, that'll be a surprise.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love when music surprises you, like Sondheim, how he's always giving you a little piece, and then toward the end of the movie, it's a full movement, and you're like, well, I was listening the whole time to these little drops.
Yeah.
Amazing. How do people get tickets for this concert? Because you better get tickets for this concert.
You can visit symphonytacoma.org, or you can call our box office, and our box office number is 253-591-5894.
And do we have a, go ahead.
We do have a special
Reading
discount
my mind.
for anyone that is watching CityLine. If you just enter the promo code CityLine or tell them at the box office, we will waive all the ticketing fees.
Thank you for getting my ticket, I'm telling you what. Well, let's shift some gears here, Miss Karina, to us aspiring musicians. Symphony Tacoma has this great program for kids, Mini Maestros. Tell us about this program.
We are very excited to announce our Mini Maestros program starting in January of 2020. These are this program aimed for kids ages 2 through 8.
Wow.
And it introduces them to all of the instrument families. So there's 4 concerts in total. The first one is with a string quintet, so you get to hear all the strings and learn about each of the instruments. The next one is with a brass quintet, so all the brass instruments. Finally, we have a percussion trio that comes in and shows the kids all of the percussion instruments that we have, and there are many of them. And then lastly, the culmination of this is Peter and the Wolf that Sarah will be conducting.
Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf grew up on this.
Which has woodwind features. So
Yes.
That's kind of our woodwind one. And we have something very special at all of these. We have something called an instrument petting zoo, where if you're curious about playing the violin or playing the trombone, you get to try out the instruments. So we thought today we would have you try out the violin as your own instrument petting zoo right here.
Well, these pictures are so darling. I hope I do this violin justice. I'm not going to be as cute as these cute little kids. Okay, now you didn't know this, but the violin is my favorite instrument. Everything in my house, the musically revolves around a violin, from bluegrass to variations on a theme by Paganini to the Four Seasons. This is my music. And I was the kid who didn't get the Suzuki violin lessons. That's in my chapter of, childhood failures. This is my chance!
Not too late.
Okay, so what do I do, Miss Sarah?
Okay, so you're going to put this under your left chin, keeping your head forward so that you don't get a twisted neck. That's right. Lovely. And you're going to kind of balance it with your shoulder sideways. There you go.
Okay.
And now, if I were your teacher, I'd say those nails are going to have to
go.
But
And I would take them off if you were my
it's
teacher.
Amanda, so, okay, so we're going to pop those. So that's right. And you're going to just try to make sure your pinky is bent underneath, and then see if you can pull it gently along the string and let the fairies come out.
Oh.
You're a natural.
Oh my gosh! Okay, can we put big kids in the little kids camp? I promise I won't push and shove. Give me that. Give
Isn't
me
it
that.
extraordinary that this is made of horsehair, and this beautiful wood is probably hundreds of years old, and this instrument could be maybe 200 years old. We think of the instruments that are out there, they're like real ancient pieces of art that we still play, and the longer and the more we take care of them, the better they sound.
It's got some, when I held it, I mean, it's got some real energy to it. You put that up on you, and it's got some weight, it's got some intensity in it, and then when that sound comes out, it goes right through my body. I was like, oh my goodness, this isn't, no wonder I love it so much. It's always, any kind of card game, favorite instrument, violin, I'm in.
So next time we'll be bringing a brass instrument for you.
Oh no! I'll make sure I have my lipstick off for that. So I can imagine that parents, grandparents, families, Karina, are interested in buying tickets and taking kids to all of your performances. So if somebody wanted to give a gift, like a holiday gift for the whole season, how would they do that?
Yes, you can call our box office. Again, the number is 253-591-5894. And then if you purchase tickets to all of our Mini Maestros events, there's a 20% off discount.
Oh, that would be so fabulous to have. I mean, because as we know, arts in schools are not what they were when we were growing up. And so this is a beautiful way for Symphony Tacoma to come along, co-parent with our community and offer a chance for children to understand music. And then pretty soon, in 10 or 15 years, I'm going to have another Sarah and another Karina on the couch because of this series, which is so beautiful. Who do we need to thank for all this goodness, my dear?
We'd like to thank our season sponsor, MultiCare, University of Puget Sound, as well as the L.T. Murray Foundation. And then finally, we'd like to thank Ted Brown Music.
I love that. Okay, Maestro, if we had to, this is a hard thing for you to say, if we had to pick one concert we would not miss this year, what would it be? I know, it's like me saying, which one of your children is your favorite? And there is no favorite.
Well, for me, because I'm a Brahms lover and because I think George Lee is a gift from heaven.
Yes.
I think this concert is one. We've got some really special things coming up, and Brahms is really such moving music, and David Ludwig comes from such a long line of lineage of great music making. And George, as I said, he's extraordinary. And the music is just so touching, this concert. It's really one of my favorites. So I would definitely be there. It's the week before Thanksgiving.
Perfect. Perfect time to sit and relax before the stress of the holiday season takes over, as much as we try to push it away. But, you know, 2 hours of sitting and listening to this music. I mean, if food be the music, how's it go? If food be the music of life, play on. That's what you should do. Thank you both for being here today, for taking time out of your very busy schedule. And thanks for letting me try the fairy violin. I'm so excited. I love it.
Next time we'll have you do it this way.
I'm in. Totally in. Coming up, Sound Transit. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.